blast off and the clock has started.
Penis!
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Hello, good people of the podcast world. Welcome to the 7th episode of Art and Mart, 2nd season. I'm here with Nathan and Nathaniel. Say hi, guys.
What up?
Hi, guys.
Where can we follow you on Instagram?
You can follow me at Diamond Nathaniel on Instagram. That's my last name, first name.
You know, one of these days I'll actually start posting on my Instagram, but if you want to hold out for that day, it is Nathan_BS.
I don't ever post on Instagram. I just put out my stories every concert I go to, which probably annoys a lot of people because that's all I ever post.
That's fair. I mean, yeah. I'll probably end up posting some weird Warhammer stuff because I'm still I still have friends in that community. So
that shit pops up on my TikTok all the time, Warhammer.
Oh yeah. Well, now TikTok's people are building things out of dead out of lobsters and crabs.
Wait, what?
Oh, when they, when you eat a lobster or a crab,
they take the shells and they make
they
little
glue the
battleships.
shells back together. They paint them and they put battle model stuff on
I
it.
don't
So
know.
it's
I'm aware of eating lobster and crab.
Yeah. So what they do is
I didn't know they built.
They build them into
Yes.
these little crab and lobster tank machines battleships.
They take fucking turrets from battleships back in the day and put it on literally broken eaten shellfish.
Yeah. So they make the
Blastoise.
So it's basically
kind of, yeah.
it's kind of like Blastoise except way bigger.
It's a real shellfish that died, and they're just putting cannons on it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was talking about a story before we started this podcast with these two beautifully attractive. They have weird pinky toes though. I think
Now you're lying to us.
super long and have a claw at the end.
I can tell you're lying because my pinky toe is beautiful.
I'm sure it is. We'll let the internet decide that.
Mm-hmm. Right, subscribe to my OnlyFans where my feet pics are at.
That's where he makes all of his money.
Rate Nathaniel's feet.
But
They're an impressive feat.
mile high feet.
Yeah, that's going to be my OnlyFans name is Mile High Feet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, we're talking about I know this is not art related, but we're still gonna talk about it because fuck everybody else. They're not. Well, I love you guys, but still, fuck you.
I feel like you're being really aggressive this morning.
I am aggressive.
This is this is the start of a very
Tone it down several notches.
All right. Anyway, so there was a rating system in my college for how girls rated guys, everywhere from sex to cuddling, kindness.
Was this
everything.
Yik Yak before Yik Yak was a thing? Or
Oh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, yik yak.
Pretty much, but it was literally a rating system. It was like the Yelp for sex for guys in college, and some guy sued Lulu, which was the app that we were using to let guys be able to see what their scores were because no guys were allowed on the app.
Is it defamation or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, no.
You can't see what your rating is.
What was the grounds of the lawsuit?
Because it was sexist. Because it went through your Facebook to make sure you were a guy or girl before you went on. To prove that, make sure right. So
so it actually it discriminated against men.
100%. Guys were not allowed on that app.
Holy shit.
So there's a whole
That's
lawsuit.
really entertaining.
Right. So that next summer,
How much of a dweeb do you have to be to sue an app like that?
or smart, the guy's probably not working right now.
I mean, I've met some dweebs in computer science. There was this guy who
need you not say more than computer science?
The dude made women sign a waiver consenting to sex.
So he
He
did
should
Dave
first
Chappelle.
remove the stick out of his ass before having sex.
He literally did Dave Chappelle's sex contract.
Yes.
No, but anyway, so after the summer of the lawsuit, what lawsuit went on, whatnot, that in next semester, all the guys got our information for our profiles. And that whole semester was about us comparing profiles back and forth. And you girls are mean. I'm going to say that right now. You guys are mean because they can put hashtags on your profile, hashtag cuddles after sex. Hashtag doesn't pay for dinner. Maybe little hashtags and stuff like that. And people can vote on those hashtags. Whatnot, so you really know what this guy does from his profile.
How was the feed set up? Was it an Instagram feed, or was it what Yik Yak used to look like, where it was just a stream of consciousness?
You had to actually search for profiles on it. It wasn't it wasn't that news driven feed at all. Was going on. It was you had to search for a person and actually have to look up what they're talking about. It was kind of like
So what you're saying is all they had to do to avoid this is to have a guy
Be
section.
good at sex. That's all you had to do to avoid it. Is be caring about your partner.
Fair.
That's the only thing, which is why I think I
But I
pissed
think
off so
that's-
many men.
That's probably it. But also, like, it does kind of like, it opens the playing field. It's like, okay, like, it's kind of the equalizer there. It's like you don't have to go in like
What's
random.
the equalizer?
Denzel Washington.
I don't know. You go to the restroom, look up a guy's profile. You're like, okay, this guy sucks. I'm gonna move on. But like, they could have just added a guy section where they could rate girls.
Or maybe,
But they didn't even do that after they opened up to guys.
I mean, everyone can just be like better at respecting their partners.
Well, they could, but there's also some situations where like some guys did treat their partners well, and they had crazy ex-girlfriends that would just like defame the fuck out of
That's
them.
what I'm saying. Like everyone
yeah.
should just respect each other.
But that's like a Karen going on Yelp, you know? Like,
No one ever goes on Yelp to leave a positive review. That's why I don't even bother looking at like Yelp reviews for restaurants, because if you're going to Yelp, you're going to leave a negative review.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
the entire point of the app.
Well, I will say my rating was the best of all my friends.
How bad were your friends rated?
Well, I'm gonna reiterate this. Girls are pretty mean on that site.
Girls are mean.
I never saw a guy rating over 8
8 out of
out of 10. Yeah.
I mean, sure. That kind of makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's kind of like the teacher that refuses to give out 100s because no one's perfect.
I had a 7.8.
Okay.
I was doing pretty good.
Is that
Right on.
good? That's like a C plus.
Well, considering no one got above an 8, I'm happy with that.
So you still didn't get above an 8.
No one did.
I feel like he's just strived for better. I would have taken it as a
Just
challenge.
be the record breaker.
That's why I tried so hard.
And you still only got a 7.8.
That's
know, right?
Yeah, what'd you do? You just take the Uber driver approach. You like leave like a
Leave some mints.
leave some mints at the door. Be like, please leave a 5-star review.
It's a goodie bag full of like condoms and like I'm sorry letters. I'm sorry.
Well, I think that's your problem. Is you have to say I'm sorry after.
Maybe
Well,
like
I got to finish after I cry.
just like have like a little like basket full of Plan B just in case.
That never happened.
That sounds expensive.
That is expensive.
Condoms are cheaper.
But how much do you want this 10-star
I mean, if you go to
review?
Costco, the pharmacy, you don't need a Costco membership. To
Yeah,
go
what
to
is
the
it, like
pharmacy.
$20 there?
It's a lot cheaper than like.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is if you go to like DoorDash or something for like CVS, the top items that are DoorDash or whatever the delivery service of your choice is always like Pedialyte and Plan B. Those are always the top 2 most delivered.
You fucking savages. Well, anyway, so I'm actually really happy to have these two back. You guys have been out traveling the world and listening to good music.
Traveling the world, Florida.
Traveling, yeah, the world is Florida.
All right, you know what? I try to make it all nice and sexy for you guys. And
It's
you just,
also
like, knocked
Florida.
it down.
There's no way to
be-
sexify Florida.
To be fair, I
Crocodiles. Those are sexy, right?
sure.
Do they have crocodiles or the alligators?
It's funny.
Whatever.
Do you know the difference between a crocodile and an alligator?
One
What?
says see you later, one says after a while.
Fuck yes, actually. Damn it. Yes, it's actually the joke.
Sweet Jesus. Anyway, why don't you tell the viewers about your little music experience and your hurt goddamn leg from being on sand for 2 days?
Oh yeah. Somehow walking around on sand for 2 days tore my calf. So maybe not tore it, but definitely hurt it. So
Hashtag gains. Gainesville. Huh.
If you ain't straining, you ain't gaining.
no, I got like 3 months to gain before I go to my sister's wedding. So
So you guys went to Audacity, the music festival?
yeah, we went to the Audacity of the music
If you
festival in
ask,
Florida.
That's why I did. That's why I did
John
that.
Dunn, if you ask 21 Pilots, they'll say Audacity. And also everyone knows, like, I'm going to this music fest. What's it called? Odyssey. Oh, Audacity.
I've always wanted a friend with the last name Dunn, so like every time he gets too fucked up and passes out, he'll, Dunn's done.
Dun dun.
Law and Order.
Dun,
The
dun.
Law and Order friend. Yeah, no, it was a really fun festival on the beach in Miami. You can't get any better than that.
Honestly, yeah, it was.
Except for free cocaine.
I mean, yeah, you have
I
mods
don't know. I mean, for me, there's no better drug than live music. Literally, I've tried. For the record, that was a joke. I've never done any drug other than caffeine. But live music is better than caffeine.
right.
Right. Honestly, though, like, Yeah, seeing Mod Sun play and then them point out a giant rainbow like off.
That was really freaking cool.
yeah, off in the horizon,
Even
just like there's a
when
rainbow.
Lil Nas was on stage. There were like 5 rainbows off the coast, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh hell yeah, gay rights!"
Well, I was in Denver playing with my penis, so haha.
I think we had a better time.
Definitely had a better time than I did.
Yep.
So, was there any artists that stood up besides Mod Sun? Because I know you guys saw like Modest Mouse and everybody else.
Well, I'm the only one who didn't think Mod Mouse was saying SpaghettiOs the whole time.
I mean, he wasn't saying words. 21 Pilots was really freaking good because they were just doing shit for like 2 hours. They were like climbing the stage. They had a campfire on set.
Yeah.
They were just playing drums on the crowd. Like they were just doing shit for like 2 straight hours. They had like 7 encores.
Right.
That was really fun.
Yep. They went into like the they snuck back into the VIP section, like started like singing from there.
And like climbing the scaffolding in the VIP section.
So when this team went to overtime, they went to overtime.
Yeah, no, they
Oh,
just,
for
it
sure.
was like,
Yeah.
yeah, they just kept going OT.
Yeah, they made the night happen.
I mean, Lumineers for me was my favorite set of the entire weekend. Obviously, I have Sleep on the Floor tattooed on my forearm. So there was obviously my favorite act of the weekend.
Well, as it looks like he got attacked by a demon on his arm.
Oh yeah,
Other
that's
reasons.
Bush, maybe? We don't know. We're just leaving
George
this.
Bush?
We're leaving his scratches to speculation.
Did he do 9/11?
right. The world may never know.
It was a dookie in the urinal.
Duke Nukem? Remember those games? Duke
Oh my
Nukem?
god, that was outrageous.
Stupidest games.
Dookie
Out.
Nukie.
Right?
Nathan, who was your favorite overall? An absolute favorite?
So, in multiple ways. So, like, I would say Modest Mouse was one of those. I just kind of I needed to see him live again because the last time I saw him, he got heat stroke in Dallas.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
Hydrate up, bitch.
it's fucking
Dehydrate,
Texas,
dehydrate.
man.
You chose to dehydrate.
I mean, Texas with like the lights on you, it's probably like 120 degrees on that stage. But like,
Probably wasn't much colder in Florida.
right? Let's see. I would say AJR was probably my. I would say they're probably my top on there. Like
They were a lot of fun.
I became a huge fan of AJR just several years ago, and I've been like they're like always on the top of what I listen to, and getting to see them live was really cool.
I mean, Sober Up was the first AJR song I remember hearing. That's probably 2017, I think, maybe like 2016, 2017. I kind of wish Rivers Cuomo came out for that because he absolutely could have, because he was backstage because he came on right after them.
Yeah.
But he didn't come out for that.
Right.
But yeah, that was the first AJR song I heard. My favorite AJR song was probably Dear Winter because it's like so fucking sentimental. And if I'm not surprised they didn't do that because it's a pretty sad song.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of Rivers Cuomo, I went to a chili cook-off in DC 101, like way back in the day.
A chili cook-off.
It was DC 101, like the local like rock station. They did like a huge festival every year.
It was a chili cook-off.
It was based off chili cook-offs.
It was
like,
a chili cook-off.
literally.
Like Kevin from The Office with his big-ass pot of chili.
Passed down from Malone to Malone.
Chili.
That's what it was.
Literally. So that's what the whole basis of this like festival is a chili
There were
cook-off.
bassists there too.
Legit though, like
No, no, because you can't spell bass without spelling ass.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, like we saw Weezer there, dude. Some like paraplegic got into the mosh pit and had to get like carried out. Everyone in the mosh pit, and this dude is in a wheelchair, just like had the rock symbol up in his hand, just like going through the crowd because he
that's
got
fucking
fucked
sick.
up in the mosh pit.
Yeah.
And like they like stopped the show. Was like, like we're a rock band, but this might be like the heaviest mosh pit we've ever had on gravel.
This was Weezer?
is it fucking Weezer?
Did
Okay.
people mosh to Weezer?
Oh, people in DC fucking mosh like crazy. Like,
What the
like I said,
hell?
a paraplegic had to get lifted out.
How
of
do
the
you
mosh
mosh
pit.
to Weezer?
Yeah, for real,
out in the
like-
sun? Are you just like throwing shoulders to?
No, dude, during Island in the Sun, like they like Island in the Sun, and then they start like going to the heavy part. Like people just like slam into each other, like go fucking crazy, and like
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
honestly, they have a lot more distortion live than they do on the songs.
No, I've seen him I've seen them twice already, and I guess because it's like
I refuse.
now Weezer, not like 20 years ago Weezer. They're just like old geezer Weezer.
It's like yeah, Geezer Weezer. I like it.
It makes a whole bunch of sense because like this was like 10 years ago. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was
back
over
when, like-
actually over 10 years ago.
Yeah, like when Buddy Holly was like relatively fresh. And your Papa Holly.
Yeah. He was really gray this time. He had like a mullet and everything.
Well, have you guys seen Johnny Knoxville lately?
No.
He's
not
like
looking-
straight edge now, isn't he?
No,
I thought he was. I thought he like completely sobered up.
no, but he is completely gray.
Oh no.
Growing up, it made him numb.
Well, I mean,
He's just gray and
could you
old.
imagine their bodies after all? They just finished Jackass 4. It's coming out like the
Only
beginning
4?
of this
I
year.
thought there was more than
Well, no, they stopped after Ryan Dunn died.
after Ryan Dunn was done.
Well, I thought a great name for the fourth would have been For Dunn. You know, number 4 DUNN, like For Dunn.
Okay.
For him, but that was not the name. I was like, well, you guys missed out on a great opportunity. I should have marketed
They
it.
should know better.
Shouldn't have done that to the boy.
Shouldn't have done that.
Shouldn't have done it. Yeah, so music. And so honestly, guys, this is Christmas season, the holiday season for all of you guys out there in different countries. And it's been a little hard getting guests. It's been a little hard, even all of us being here together.
It's my first time
As a
like,
group.
full
Yeah,
week
this-
back in Denver in like 3 weeks.
Exactly.
I would say probably the same. Like, yeah, I spent 2 weeks in Texas, and then I went to Florida. and
I'm
now-
so sorry for both of those. I lived in
the
Florida. for several
humidity.
years. So much humidity, dude. You forget about that.
Oh, I know. And then you come back here, and you're like a mummy.
And, right, and your skin just is petrified.
Dude, like when I don't shave down in Florida, my pubes curl. Like even harder than normally curl because there's just so much humidity.
Oh yeah. My beard, like
What?
What?
Moving on.
yeah, it's like no, my beard legit like just stayed curly the whole time because I forgot my straightener in Texas, and also it wouldn't have really
Do you
mattered
use
in
a
Florida.
beard straightener?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I got to go back for Christmas to grab my beard straightener so I don't have this curly thing.
But you have to go to trim it for your sister's wedding.
I don't know. I still want to grow it out to braid it. I think if I get a good braid on it, I can sell her on it. I think I could probably sell her on a beard braid if it looks good.
Well, here's the thing: is like
So the bride will be a fan of the braid.
just
hope.
grow it out anyway, and try to do it the right way. And if it doesn't work out, you can shave it off. Even though I think you're
You
gonna,
mean trim it?
You're like super without a beard. I'm gonna hate you for it.
Oh
if you
Jesus!
change
Have you
it.
seen me without
I
a beard?
never
Yes, I have.
plan to
Yeah.
shave ever again.
I saw your ID.
Yeah, it's enough. Yeah, it's enough to tell you.
So beard art.
I don't know. I mean, that is actually a good topic. I don't know.
There
It's-
are actually competitions for that for beard sculpting, and people do really crazy shit.
I
They
have
make
seen
like
that.
functional bird cages with their beards.
They always look so ugly though.
You know, like birds poop, right? Like, can you imagine like having a beard with just like bird feces all over it?
But they also like build an actual like bird cage that goes like over their head with it.
oh,
it's
that's
still poop.
ridiculous.
Right, but
It's still goddamn feces.
think of whatever
Yeah.
else they're putting in it to make it do that.
Oh God, no.
More bird feces?
Probably. I don't know.
Probably.
It's natural.
Oh no, I would think just straight up Elmer's glue, like whatever people do with like punk mullets or punk mohawks.
Do they use actual Elmer's glue for that?
They use egg whites, from what I
Okay,
understand.
well,
Really?
Did you ever have
I
a
didn't know
mullet?
that.
Or I mean, a mohawk?
No, but I've looked into how people do it.
I had a mohawk in college, or being in high school.
An
Yeah,
actual mohawk,
And-
like a spiky one, like a
Yes,
mohawk?
like I had like my head was shaved
Do you
on the
have
sides. My mom does.
I need to see it.
My mom's actually one that pressured me to do it.
oh, that's cool.
She was like, it's like, it's
So
your-
was it like actually? Like
So
a
your mom's
spiky
over here
mohawk,
like
or
be a
was it-
cool kid.
It was at least 4 or 5 inches high.
Damn.
I had like really long hair, and my mom was like, "You were a senior in high school." She was like, "If you have like one crazy hairstyle you've always wanted to do, like now's the time to do it." Because like once you're 18, she's like, "You got to get a job and or go to college, and you got to kind of like get your shit straight." She's like, "Do something crazy now." And we had like a family hairdresser, and my mom like made this gesture, was like, "Give him a mohawk." So I was playing in bands all the time. Like it wasn't like out of place for me to have
Right.
one, you know. So,
So what'd you put in to get it to stand up?
All right, so this is the funniest shit. Like, it took my mom and I an hour every morning to get it ready.
Holy crap.
Hour.
That sounds like
That's
way too
nuts.
much effort.
That's so much.
It was so worth it.
Was it really?
It was so worth it because I freaked everybody out in high school. Like, all my friends, like, they were like,
How long did you rock it for?
I mean, about a month until like my hair started like kind of like coming out on the sides a little bit. I was like, all right, I did it. I had enough. About an inch and a half, and I just kind of buzzed it off. But like,
Okay.
I would have to put my head like on the side of like the countertop in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And my mom would take gel and she'd put it flat on it, and then she would iron it
Like actually iron.
onto the countertop, and it would like.
That's what
sit.
they said how to do it?
No, she learned how to do it that way because she had to do the same thing when she was in the 60s. So like ironing her hair in
That's
the
like
60s.
the old school way then.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, she used
That's
to
like-
iron their hair on the ironing board, and it stood pretty straight after that. If you put some like,
So your mom was punk back in
Yeah,
the
so
day.
like at the very
Pre-punk.
birth of punk.
yeah, she was pre-punk. She was hippies.
like the Who
Yeah.
punk.
Oh, I love the Who so much, dude. Keith Moon, R.I.P. Dog.
They were the original punk band.
Yeah.
They like started the punk movement before anyone realized they did.
The Ramones did.
The Who was
Okay, yeah, the
before.
Ramones.
The Ramones.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, the Ramones kind of pioneered it, or they led it, but the Who, I don't
right.
give a fuck about my
They're-
generation.
the Ramones
I
happened.
hope I die before I get old.
The Ramones happened like right around the Who, and I think they.
I thought the Ramones were more 70s. The Who was like mid to late 60s.
Wait, so okay.
Can you Google check this for us?
Yeah, okay.
I feel
let
like
me
the
get
Who
on
was
the mic.
older than the Ramones.
It's funny though because we were just watching something. My dad thought like this, like basically they were talking about the whole punk movement like going on in Brooklyn, like
Oh yeah.
Oh, CBGBs.
yeah. And my dad's sitting there like I never really paid attention to punk, and like it's not my style, and like I don't think it's anybody else's style except outside of New York. So I just want to take this moment to do the duty of research and figure out
Your dad?
Yeah, but I think it's also him. You know, he grew up in Arkansas, very different world.
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Who is older than the Ramones.
Who's the one that actually started punk? Oh my god. It's on the top of my tongue.
Like Beastie Boys? Like
No,
I know they're more
Beastie
like
Boys,
90s.
I
They're
guess you
90s.
could
They're
consider them
90s.
punk, but yeah, it's like
It started in the late 60s.
do
as
Do
a
Beastie Boys
movement.
have a genre? Like, what really are they?
They're technically rock for what I know.
Okay.
Because they have like really heavy guitar in their rap.
I mean,
but
I've always attributed the Who to starting like the punk alternative movement.
I think Steppenwolf is honestly the first band that actually coined the term heavy metal.
Yeah.
Was it them? I didn't know
Get
that.
your motor
yeah, I
rolling.
know Steppenwolf.
Okay, so the Ramones.
Heavy metal thunder.
Yeah, they're technically
That's where
punk
it
rock.
started.
They were formed in New York City, Forest Hills, like the Queens District in
Yeah.
1974.
74.
Yeah, 74.
Way after the Who.
Yeah.
When was the Who? Like the late 60s? They're
I'm
still
pretty sure.
They're still they were the 70s.
The Who?
Check the Who, please.
The
Okay,
Who.
when did
Yeah,
they-
looking at the Who. So Who, they got started in 1964, so a whole 10 years before.
Yeah, way before the Ramones.
I mean, no, the Who are right up there with the Beatles.
I mean,
like they basically
I will-
started
I will-
rock
The
with
Who
the
was-
Beatles.
I will
a
eat my
lot-
shit on that one. I'll eat my shit on that one.
The Who was like the British punk invasion. They weren't part of the
Sex
British.
Pistols.
Wait, we're okay.
Oh yeah, that's who you're thinking of.
Yeah.
I fucking killed that. Did I not? I knew that one. Sex Pistols.
I mean, they were the ones that kind of were like the first identifiable ones, but the Who was the closest thing we had to punk because, like, when you think of the British invasion, you think of the
60s.
Monkees,
60s.
R.I.P.
60s.
Was Sex Pistols?
Oh,
that old?
Sexes? Okay, so the Sex Pistols were English. They were English punk rock. Yeah, 1974.
74 too. They're all
Still okay. So it was
75
still the
really,
Who
but-
that started all of it. Then
yeah.
for that.
They really. I mean, I don't know if they were the first. Like,
You just Google who started punk.
well, that's
Yeah.
gonna be that's gonna be debated. You could probably go back
Oh,
to
all
like
of this
American
will-
20s blues.
It might.
Oh, we'll get
it,
deep on
it might
this.
give us
Okay,
a little like
so-
direction in a tree, though.
It started. Okay, so really, people are saying it. Okay, so Rolling Stone says it started in 1976.
Oh,
And it was like it was in
No,
New
no,
York.
no.
It was in the Queens district that like punk got big, and that's where it like all started.
But if you look at a lot of the,
Yeah,
the Who was still
right.
like British rock pop, but they were like punkier lyrics.
Which
Well,
actually, this kind of puts it in perspective. My dad was 15 whenever this whole like thing started kicking off. So
Well, there's a difference between having influences and being influenced by, right? Like they might have given the idea
Right.
for punk, but who's the one that actually took that inspiration from that little bit from the Who?
I mean,
or
we
whoever
could follow that chain forever. Like we could follow that into like the freaking 1200s. Like
Well, it all goes back to honestly
because
Green-
like
was it
art goes in
Green
cascades.
Feather?
it all follows back to a artist called Robert Johnson back in the 1920s who started. He was the king of the Delta blues.
Yeah.
The guy who sold his soul to the devil. Right? He's
Yes.
technically the one who started rock in general.
Blues train blue.
Oh, it's the Crossroads. The
Crossroad Blues, yeah.
Crossroad Blues is his fucking
Can't get
jam.
any older than making a deal at the Crossroads.
No, and that started all of that like that 4/4 really progressive kind of shit. Which,
Was he the first kind? I mean, in the 20s, I was still kind of like, I guess he was kind of more like guitar forward blues. Like, because was he more slide with Delta?
Well, the slide was all the rage back in the 20s.
Right.
And I'm a Robert Johnson expert. I know
I've
everything
watched a
about
couple
that guy.
documentaries on him.
Well, you know what's weird? He would never play to a stage.
Does he have any? He has what, like very few recorded songs, right?
Very, 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 very few recorded songs, but the ones that are of him. Here's the crazy part, right? So there's a bunch of people like Slide and Willie Nelson or whatever.
Yeah.
Slide and Willie. Like, it was like.
Also,
back
I
in
just
the
want
day.
to take a side note with how amazing musicians' names used to be. It was
Oh.
like Blind Willie McTell, like
Yeah.
the dopest fucking names.
Four Finger Freddy.
Oh
Like,
hell yeah!
all that kind of shit. But so I watched this documentary. It was like 2 hours long on Robert Johnson. Like it was 2 hours long.
Yeah.
It was back in the 90s when people were still alive from knowing him. And they were saying it was like, yeah, this guy Robert Johnson used to always come up to us like, we'd take a break from a show and start playing guitar and everyone would boo Robert Johnson all over the place. I just spilled on my penis. They just boo Robert Johnson and boo him and boo him, and we had to go back after our set or get back on there to save the crowd. And this is back in the 20s,
Yeah.
right? So he left for like 6 to 8 months before anyone saw him again, and this is like in between the time where he quote unquote sold his soul to the devil in the Crossroads,
Right,
Georgia,
became
off
the
of 61.
Best guitarist of all.
Right, and then
Humanity.
he came back, but he never played to the stage.
Interesting.
He played away from the stage because evidently every time someone asked like why you play away from the stage, he's like, I'm not playing the guitar.
Oh.
That's why it all goes like people. I mean, it's probably all just rumor because he was just an incredibly skilled musician, but that he sold his soul to the devil to become the best guitarist.
Well,
Because he died, like 2 years after really soon.
Well, guess who also went to the Crossroads in Mississippi?
Who?
Jimmy Page and Robert Plant.
Oh, I haven't heard that they went.
They went.
I didn't hear that
That's the
either.
first place they went to in America was the Crossroads. I mean, Jimmy Page bought Aleister Crowley's house.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Do you guys? You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Bought Aleister Crowley's house.
Yeah, I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, he was a huge Satanist.
I didn't know that.
Huge. I mean,
I
fucking
guess that's how you
massive.
do it. Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna be a rock star, be a rock star. Like, worship the devil, whatever. Like, I mean, talk to Ozzy first. Make sure it's chill.
Right, because I think he might actually be a demon.
Well, Black Sabbath was actually. Can you look up when Black Sabbath started?
Yeah.
Because
sure.
Black Sabbath
That was what, mid 70s, I think.
they were the first band to do horror music.
Yeah.
They used to call it horror music. They didn't call it metal. They called it horror music back.
I mean,
in the
now
day.
it's just
Yeah.
classic
So
rock.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
they were like 1968. Like
That's when they started.
yeah, like 3 years after punk. Like
Can you open a new tab? Can you check when Steppenwolf was a band?
sorry.
Steppenwolf was like early 60s.
How do you spell Steppenwolf? I think
Steppenwolf.
Spell check. We'll check you out for it because that's
Steppenwolf. Okay, I got it. Yeah, Steppenwolf. Fucking let's see,
Because they-
1968, 1972.
Was it that late? I thought they were like early 60s.
I thought they were way earlier.
I don't know, dude. It sounds like metal got started like basically a few years after punk.
What it also sounds like is a lot of these people had the same idea.
Right. It was, let's be as loud and aggressive as possible.
It's probably okay. What preceded this to like cause that kind of shit?
Electric instruments.
No,
yes.
I know. I think it's political. I think it's
I mean,
it's
it was
also,
the counterculture
Which is-
movement.
which is explore both.
It is. Honestly, it's mostly counterculture. It's like I don't want to listen to what my parents did. I'm not doing that Frank Sinatra shit anymore.
Not all
Yeah.
counterculture was that aggressively loud.
But they had the technology to be able to do that, though. The same thing with us,
Right,
with
right.
dubstep. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
parents are like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
I mean, this is also
And now
like
all electronic music is dubstep.
Yeah,
That's
quote
what was
unquote.
big 20 years ago.
Let's see. So 19. I'm.
What are you looking up right now?
I
This might
am
be my
looking
favorite
up like.
podcast we've done just because we're actually doing research during the podcast.
I know. Look at us
Yeah.
doing research.
So I'm
Why do you
just
keep looking up presidents?
because it kind of gives an
It's
insight
pronounced
as
porn.
to like it gives an insight into what was going on in the country at the time.
Yeah, but every single band we've looked up is British. So why are you looking up American presidents?
Steppenwolf's not British.
I thought they were. Are they American?
American.
Yeah, and then like the whole punk movement got started in Queens.
Well, if we're talking about
Because
the
of
Who,
CBGBs.
the Who is where the fuck? Are
Okay,
they
the
from?
Who is.
They're from Britain.
I wouldn't.
Right, but I'm trying to think of where they're.
I wouldn't
from.
necessarily call the Who punk.
They absolutely. I believe. In my opinion, they started the punk movement.
Okay,
Maybe.
you know what I'll give you? 100%. I'll give you. They gave them the idea for it.
Which is,
I will
is
not.
that
I will
starting?
not give them that they are a pioneer of punk, though.
Well, no, because they were still just like British invasion rock, but their lyrics were a lot less "I want to hold your hand" and a lot more "fuck old people."
Yeah, exactly. I'll give you the idea.
People are always
the
trying to
idea-
put me
I'll-
down just because I get around.
but
Like
I'll never say that the Who is the first punk band.
I would say they are.
What does Google tell us?
Who's the first punk band?
Yeah, and I want to see the source of who.
Oh no, I'm just looking
Is
like
Google
is
God?
the Who punk?
Like ask Jeeves.
I miss Jeeves.
I think he's still around. I
There's
don't know.
some debate that my generation.
Oh, you look
by
up
the Who-
Quora. That's a responsible source.
All right,
Am
you
I
caught me.
pregnant?
All right. Do I need to like look at Rolling Stone for every
I
single
think
thing?
I need Plan C.
All right.
I mean, there's no obviously answer to this because it's a genre.
No, but this is the whole point of a podcast. We're discussing it.
Ooh, Misfits popped up.
Misfits is
Misfits
later
is
than
kind
all
of de
them.
facto though, especially
right.
for
Dead
our
Kennedys,
generation.
Misfits, Ramones, like they're all
Sex Pistols.
very clearly punk.
Yeah.
But that's because this genre was already established.
Right,
Because
okay,
they
yeah.
had a niche that was already created that they filled.
For sure.
I think the Who created that angstier rock that was more than just loud music, but had the lyrics to substantiate the anger they were feeling towards the older generation who was trying to put them down. Okay, what's this article we have up right now?
It looks like it's about You Discover Music. I don't.
What's it about? I don't care. What this
It's about how
says.
the Who stuck it to the punks.
How do they stick it to the punks?
That's a good question. I don't really know. Punk power, like I don't know. It sounds like it's written by
Great
some.
research. I don't know.
I mean, if I knew the author, okay, Tim Peacock. Let's see.
I don't give a shit who the author is. I want to know what the article says.
The author gives insight. Like,
Who's
if you,
Tim Peacock? Okay, what does knowing that Tim Peacock's the author have to mean anything?
Is he 20 or is he 50?
Well, what is? Then tell me.
Let's see. So he's a staff writer for The Sounds, UK's one of UK's 3 major rock weeklies. Okay, so he's got a UK background. Edited Online, Whispering and Hollering, co-wrote The Witherman and the Tide. Submitted a Liverpool cold band, The Laws. All right, yeah. So it's a British background. Cool.
Okay, that doesn't help at all.
It does because like there was a different pivotal point where like British and English music like started, or British and American music started to meet, and so
Like the British invasion.
yeah,
I started in 63, 64.
yeah. So you kind of have to keep this kind of stuff in mind because like we weren't always so connected musically.
Well, we kind of were.
Yeah.
At first, British music came over to America in like classical, and then America.
Why did it do that?
Because they came to America.
Well, because white people took black American music and brought it over here.
I'm going even older than that.
Oh, you're talking about like classical, like the whole classical movement.
Yeah.
Was like, yeah.
like Baroque.
Oh, even farther. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
no, that's where it all started. Because I mean, if you want to get like a lot of classists, don't believe America really has musical history because it's not classical enough. It started too much with like blues and gospel.
blues is my favorite genre of all time.
Because it's the American genre. There's nothing more American than blues.
If you listen to old school blues, you can listen to every single artist you listen to nowadays, rhythms, patterns, song chorus. It all comes from all that.
Right. I mean, Elvis straight up ripped off blues, but he was white, so that's why people liked him.
He ripped off blues by slowing it down
Mm-hmm.
and using less seventh chords and fifth chords.
Huh.
Made it more easier to access to the Puritan Americans who were used to like 40s
Ooh, there's a timeline
Andrew
for punk.
sisters.
So timeline for punk starts in the 1950s with
Bullshit.
like James
it's-
Cotton and like
I said,
Johnny
there's different
Burnett.
influence and
What do they
practice.
say is 50s punk other than just rock and roll?
Buddy
Apparently,
Holly?
like songs like "Train Kept a Rollin'" by like Johnny Burnett and the Rock and Roll Trio.
That is the most dumb shit I've ever heard in my
That
entire
sounds
life.
just like rock and roll.
It's also
I mean,
a Wikipedia article, so it's probably a bunch of dumb shits writing it.
that's why I think The Who is pretty much the original punk band because it lines up with everything with their super loud music, smashing guitars on stage. It's before a lot of what we know as, 70s punk with Ramones, Sex Pistols, as we've said. I believe that they were the original punk band.
Well, this is all up for debate, so make sure you guys are following us on Instagram, following us on Facebook, following us on...
You're really throwing it with the Southern, aren't you, now?
Yeah, follow us on like Instagram, Twitter.
Well, damn.
Twitter?
I do have a Twitter.
I do too, but I'm never going to let anyone I know personally find it.
Okay, that's true.
But
I really don't do. Okay, yeah, don't do Twitter. I don't do Twitter.
Do not follow me on Twitter for the love of several deities.
Unless you just want to follow these podcasts, don't follow me on Twitter either.
Follow us on Instagram.
And then don't follow us on Spotify Greenlight anymore because we've all ixnayed that because it's just literally Clubhouse.
Yeah,
It
But
doesn't
worse.
do. It doesn't do. Yeah, but
it's
worse.
basically we thought it was Discord, but it's not Discord. So speaking of, we should really get that Discord spun back up.
I'm having the worst time getting that set up. I feel
Throw
like,
it at me.
I feel like
I'll figure it out.
You or Mark because that's on your guys' side. I don't know what I'm doing. I keep on trying to do it. And I'm just like, don't know the fuck I'm doing. I feel like I'm like a 14-year-old trying to find porn, and I can't find
I'm like
what I
the
want.
old, like trying to find like LimeWire.
Oh, LimeWire, that got me in so much trouble.
Yeah, I'm part of several public servers on Discord, so
I
I
really
can
wasn't sure
definitely
where you're
figure
going
out.
with that transition.
No, I'm definitely saying I can help figure this out.
Well, I was gonna do this whole skit about me getting kidnapped, and I like even told both of these guys like, hey, like follow along with it, and I don't want to do it anymore because I feel kind of weird like pretending me being dragged out of this apartment.
Yeah, let's not do that. I wasn't sure where that was going. You were just like, follow the lead, and I was like, sure, but if that's what the lead is, I'm not going to follow
I
that.
thought it was so funny in my head, and I
So
was
we
just
should
thinking
just
about it, not do it.
start signing off now, I guess.
Let's sign off. Hey guys, make sure you guys follow us. I want to thank all of our sponsors: Trips to Cents, Denver's Best Deals, and Two Morons Talk. Make sure you guys follow everybody.
What's
everybody
Two
there.
Morons Talk and Denver Best Deals?
Two Morons Talk is our entrepreneurial group that we run every Thursday from 5:30 until 7 o'clock in Denver. Come out if you're an entrepreneur. Come out if you're even interested in your own company. We do speeches every other week, and we go out to bars every other week. And you are just looking like you're sucking some cock.
Eating ice cream.
If you eat ice cream like that, then I got some questions.
We all scream for ice cream.
But Denver's Best Deals is honestly like we all we drink here, right? We all
I'm
drink.
sober.
Right, 100%.
Sure. Okay. Yep.
And some of us smoke weed, and especially some of you smoke weed. So Denver's Best Deals give you stuff that actually you're going to use for like coupon ideas, right? Like if you're going to spend some money on weed, like saves 30% off some alcohol, or weed. If you're a smoke, or if you drink some alcohol, save 30% off some alcohol. Go to both those places. You guys get some fucking discounts. Use code TRIP, and you'll get whatever discount is on special for that website.
That's
But yeah,
TRIPP.
double P because you're gonna pee on me. I mean, what?
Are there any capitals, or is it just all lowercase, uppercase?
No, I don't value myself as a human, so lowercase t.
Got it.
But hey, guys, we actually really want to thank you guys because I know it's not been a bunch of artists the past few months and whatnot, but it's been a little hard for us to get people on with the holiday season, and just give us some patience, and we're gonna come back in 2022 with some fucking bangers.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we're gonna have some great stuff. Like, honestly, I want to talk to these guys about our 1-year anniversary next July.
Oh, yeah.
And how big we can make that motherfucker.
Woo!
Like a rooftop show like the Beatles' last show.
Honestly,
we'll do it live.
We'll do like
live.
the whole lapel mics. We'll be doing this live, baby.
Well, if you want to go to Patreon and help us out with that, and that'll make that even bigger. And we'll get lapel mics, and maybe we have some local celebrities here and stuff. And we can make it happen. We'll go back to all of our old podcast guests and see if they can all make it.
Like the last episode of Seinfeld.
that'd be
or just
super
all
cool.
The main characters come through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like what? Just like get a whole forum of like 20 people. Like,
well, how about you guys tell us what you guys want? You guys tell us what you guys want to do, and go on to Instagram,
handwritten
Facebook.
letters.
Handwritten letters. Yeah, the address is 1000 Spear Boulevard, apartment 1210, Denver 80204. And write us whatever you want. Honestly, cuss at us, because we'll send you a letter back with even more cussing and more vulgar and more nasty.
we respond to hate mail with more hate mail.
Yeah, because we de-escalate. We de-escalate
don't know.
problems.
I don't know about the D part.
Anyway, we love your guys' patience, and we love that you guys are still with us right now. Just keep on supporting us, please, because we're gonna take this podcast to the next level. And as we always say,
Peace.